Hi, and welcome to the Feel Good Always podcast. I'm Becky Bradley, and this is real stories of love, connection, and remembering who we are. So, welcome if you're new here, and you're in for a treat today because, I'm just sharing the real, raw truth of what's going on here. And thank you to everybody that's been following along. I can't do this without you. So this is the Feel Good Always podcast. I talk a lot about feeling, higher consciousness. Was born out of my daughter Keira dying, which opened me up to feel her, that she's right here, always. I have no question. And that the way I moved through that and was able to connect to her was feeling it all. And I'm very connected. I just literally just stepped over here to share what's coming through, and to share the truth in this moment right now with the feelings and everything that's coming through, because Feel Good Always is about feeling. It's about feeling. And I didn't get here by bypassing the way I feel. You're going to hear the truth of how I walk through I walk through pain by feeling it and listening and not distracting. And that's what I'm going to share. So I got news of a close friend of mine died. I got this news yesterday. I get shown things ahead of time. Many of you know that. And I definitely was being shown. I didn't know that's what I was being shown, but Keira was continuously telling me to come back to less doing, more being, stop doing, more being, stop doing, more being, really being asked to get present. And that's what I feel like I do anyways. I do a lot of taking care of myself. And but I was being asked to do even more before this happened, and I'm still being asked to do that, to get present. And there's a huge message around just be. It's not about doing, it's about being. And that's what I was hearing before I got this news. And it's really surreal for me because, I know too much. I know we can't die. So I know that my friend is still here, but that doesn't mean that it's not hard. That doesn't mean that I don't feel it. That doesn't mean that I don't get confused because I live here in a body. So it doesn't mean that I don't need to feel all of that pain. So that it's raw and it's real and it's true. So I definitely been feeling, and I want to just tell, to give permission to everyone. Like, we don't do this work of by doing, if that makes sense. We don't move into higher levels of consciousness by a checklist. I immediately took social media off my phone when I find out, because you can watch yourself distract, and it's like, feel it all. I went to the river, I did breath work, and I just did breath work. That's when they're like, you need to share this. And I also talked to my son last night on the phone, and he said, feel good always. Like, maybe it's just about sharing the truth of it, And I do share a lot of raw stuff. But it's not just about helping people. People get very fearful about, death. And I don't believe death is an end. I still don't believe that. But that doesn't mean that I don't feel that, I still feel it. I have to feel it. That's the only way to move into this higher level of consciousness. And, right before this news, I pulled oracle cards, and the oracle card that I pulled literally was, basically surrender everything and everyone, and which I've already done. And I'll get asked to do it again and again. Surrender attachments to everything and everyone. And literally a minute later, I got the message. And that's how I open up to these higher levels of consciousness, is through surrender. Okay. That is through knowing that I'm not in control and feeling it all. It's not a coincidence that I pulled that card, surrender everything and everyone, literally a minute before. And so we surrender everybody and everyone, but that doesn't mean that we don't feel the pain. And so we feel, and feeling doesn't look like a checklist of I must do this and I must do that and I must journal and I must read a book and I must go to yoga and I must go on a hike. It looks like really just being with yourself and allowing yourself to scream in the car. Yeah, it might look like a hike. It looks like allowing yourself to feel. And that's what I did. And it's hard. It's not easy. Grief sits on top of grief, sits on top of grief. And when you've experienced grief, doesn't matter. More grief brings up the core of, my daughter dying. It doesn't matter if she's connected to me. I still feel that. And then of course I experience the grief of my friend, and it makes no sense, and there's a lot of connection with the friend. It's like being in this higher dimensional connection and also understanding that I live in a human body in a 3-dimensional world. And so it's both, and it's feeling all of that. And so, I spent the day with the family yesterday immediately. And there's something about being with other people that know what you're feeling and not trying to fix it and just crying together. And then being with all of the people that have showed up for me, all of those people, and then all of us that are, grieving together, to be together in community, to feel it and to acknowledge, this is someone's life here on earth, period. And that's not over in the sense that, like, I don't believe their work is ever over. Like, it's just not the truth. It's just this transition, and it's hard. And it's hard to be left here when I talk about soul contracts and soul plans. Like, I know that my daughter and I had a plan together that she was going to leave early. She was going to die so that I could bring this energy onto the earth, because we are literally moving into higher levels of consciousness. I know that, but that doesn't mean that it's not hard. That doesn't mean that I can't scream and cry and be like, I don't want to. I'm freaking done. I don't want to do this. Like, what else? Like, I can know that this is an illusion, this life. And I can also at the same time be like, I don't want to. I don't want to do it. I just stay there for that moment, and it usually shifts. I will do it. I'll do it every freaking time. I will do it. I'll be right here talking to you. Because my daughter literally died so I could do this work. So that I could bring this frequency, this energy. But it does not happen through not feeling. It doesn't happen through me not telling the truth of what's happening. It doesn't. And I try to tell the truth on here, I do. I think I'm pretty transparent, and that's all I'm doing today. It doesn't happen through not feeling. You'll see me do it every time, and it just feeds me more. It feeds me more to do this work, that people are literally leaving the earth. They're dying. My friend, it's like another person on the other side to guide me, and I don't get to question why. Personally, I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying personally, I just know it's all happening. It doesn't mean that it's not. I'm not sad. I'm super sad. But I'm talking about, like, a lot of it. It feels like, yeah, when Keira died, it was that. Like, I can't do this. But I just stay present in this moment. And that freedom that came from feeling, that's what you hear me talk about on this podcast. It's that freedom. But this right here in this moment is that feeling. So I'm just telling you, it's hard, Sometimes it's hard. It's not always hard. Thank God. It doesn't always feel this way. But sometimes it is hard. And, like, extremely. And I just can't even believe I'm being asked to do by my soul, some of the things that I'm being asked to do, which is continuously surrender. And in that surrender, there's so much freedom. But that's where the joy comes, is being willing to feel it, even when I don't want to do it. And just being so grateful for all the people that are doing it with me, all the people that have found me along the way. My friend that died was one of those people that found me to help me heal, and we found each other before, but she hugely healed me. And now it's like, oh, okay, well, you're going to be on the other side now. No, it's not that easy. It's not. But there's a bunch of us here that are left on earth. If you're listening, we're here, we're left to do this work, and I take it seriously. And the message today is like not to bypass the feelings, feel it. I literally cried all day yesterday, cried today, and be honest about the way that it feels. And that this isn't like a 2 or 3 day process. This is, again, more integrating really hard stuff. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my community, that I can talk to people. I'm thankful for yoga, for breath work, for hiking, for my animals. I'm thankful that I can come into my body. I'm thankful for podcasts like this one that I could listen to, and I can remember that I'm not alone. I'm thankful for the awareness to watch my mind. None of us have to do this alone. We can't do it alone. And I didn't have to do it alone, because people showed up, when we tell the truth and we talk about it, especially for people that are, caretakers. You're a caretaker, you're a healer, you're somebody that's helping others all the time. Please take care of yourself. That is why Keira was saying more being, less doing, like ahead of time. And so I'm not going to hide from this pain. Not for a second. I don't hide from it. It's real. And I'm here for it. And when it moves through, I actually feel better. But it will keep coming in waves. And I definitely have felt, though, like I can't do it. But I've shown myself that I can. And the reality is like, it's just the way that I see it today is not as scary. I'm not afraid of my feelings. I'm a human. I'm a human, and I can feel. I do know that I got to do it and show other people, like, stop apologizing for crying. Can we just say that it's hard here? It's beautifully hard. It's hard here. It's really hard here. And I know that. And we don't have to do it alone. And we can do it together. So thanks for listening to this. I'm sharing it. I don't even know what you may get out of it, but it's just the truth. That's it, that we can feel it all. Please don't skip your feelings. Please don't distract yourself from your pain. Please give yourself time to be with yourself. Please. And surrender over and over and over again. Put some music on and freaking cry, because no matter what's happening, it has to be moved in the body. And, right now I'm going to feel. That's it. I'm always going to feel, but right now I'm going to keep feeling. I'm going to not distract myself from the pain. I'm just not. And then I'm going to continue to double down on understanding how big the mission is that we're doing here on earth, to help people live in peace. I want to help people live in peace. So I hope I help you. That's why I do this. That's my only motivation, is to help you live in peace. And just want to remind you to feel it all, okay? Don't be afraid. I love you. And we'll see you soon.